track and our lack of active pattern that we have going on right now. In the meantime, no matter how the snow falls or what plays out as we go towards the middle of the week, I do think that temperatures will gradually stay above average by a couple degrees as we go through the next 7 to 10 days. In fact, it's likely that as we go through the next week or two, we could see above average temperatures across most of the country. There is no true extreme cold on the horizon, but still, though, things will be chilly. Staying in the 30s for afternoon highs with morning lows in the teens and 20s as we go through the next 10 days.
All right, no extreme cold. That's good to hear.
That is great to hear. I think that's our Christmas gift from nature right now.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Chris.
Anytime.
Now, we've been asking you to share your morning with us. This is a picture we have from Jim. It looks like he got this along Lake Superior while camping in Copper Falls. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh, well, thank you, Jim, for sharing that. What does your morning look like? Take a picture and post it on the Channel 3000 Facebook page or on Twitter using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share our favorites right here on News 3 this morning. Now, a new report says dental painkillers may put young people at risk for opioid addiction and a recall of a medication parents may have in their medicine cabinets. Plus, exploring the controversial process of gene editing. Your health headlines are just ahead. This is on News 3 this morning, Sunday.
We do have some clouds and light fog around the area this morning, particularly in Madison, and points to the north and east. South and west of Madison, you might actually be seeing a little bit more in the way of some sunshine. 20 degrees the temperature right now. We zoom things out a little bit, and you can see that it's 12 in Janesville, 10 as you work your way over towards Waukesha. Black River Falls at 5, and then 12 in Dubuque, Iowa as well. So a little bit of everything when it comes to the temperatures. We are watching some added cloud cover develop back towards the south and west. We'll keep an eye on that as we go through the day, but I do think some drier air should hopefully allow some of this cloud cover to burn off as you plan your day. Right around lunchtime is when I think we have the best chance for doing that. Temperatures will warm all the way into the upper 20s, perhaps with highs right around 29 to 30 degrees today.
All right, Chris, thank you. In health headlines this morning, a new report says dental painkillers may put young people at risk of opioid addiction. The report published in JAMA looked at teenagers and young adults who received opioid painkiller prescriptions after having their wisdom teeth pulled. They were more likely to be diagnosed with opioid abuse within 1 year compared to those who were not prescribed the drugs. A recent study in the Journal of the American Dental Association found that over-the-counter painkillers work just as well or better than opioids. Chinese authorities say they've opened investigations into a scientist who claims to have created the world's first genetically edited babies. He Jianhui says the twin sisters were born with immunity to HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. The girl's DNA was chemically altered using a technique called CRISPR. Dr. Tara Narula shows us why other scientists are alarmed by the news.
The technology to genetically edit human embryos has been around for a while, but scientists were unwilling to cross that ethical line until now.
I believe family need this technology, and I'm willing to take the criticism for them.
He Jianhui, a Stanford and Rice University trained physicist, says he used the technique CRISPR to help a married Chinese couple conceive twins immune to HIV. When the girls were still embryos, he used chemical scissors to turn off a gene that makes people vulnerable to HIV infection. The embryos were then implanted into the mother, and Lulu and Nana were born earlier this month.
No gene was changed except the one to prevent HIV infection. The girls are safe, healthy as any other babies.
China's National Health Commission ordered an investigation into He's work, which defied a global scientific consensus banning the use of genetic editing on human embryos. He's University in China, where he was on unpaid leave, said it was deeply shocked by his research, which it believes seriously violated academic ethics and codes of conduct.
I think this was irresponsible.
Kiran Musunuru, an associate professor of medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, believes this was an attempt to engineer genetically modified human beings.
No question that that is unethical. I would actually add immoral to that.
Musunuru reviewed some of He's scientific data and says he believes the genetic edits on the embryos were incomplete, meaning the girls may not be totally immune to HIV. Musunuru also says there's evidence other genes were edited unintentionally, potentially increasing the twins' risk for cancer.
Taking those embryos forward through pregnancy to live children, to me, is absolutely appalling and horrifying. I can't imagine why anyone with any sort of compassion would actually do that.
Now, as the temperatures continue to dip this weekend, it can be really tempting to stay inside on the couch. But the latest research stresses that there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing choices. A lack of sunlight can affect circadian rhythms and throw off your sleep pattern. Not seeing the sun can also impact your serotonin and dopamine levels, the hormones that are linked to depression. It can be as simple as just taking a walk. A study from the University of Rochester shows being out in nature for just 20 minutes a day can boost energy levels. But if you're really adamant about staying inside, doctors recommend finding creative outlets like inviting friends over or even doing chores. And a popular form of ibuprofen sold for infants, which is sold at Walmart, CVS Pharmacy, and Family Dollar stores nationwide, is being recalled because it may contain overly high concentrations of the drug. Walmart sells the recalled product under the Equate label. CVS offers it under the CVS Health label, and at Family Dollar, it's sold under the Family Wellness label. Still ahead, we're running through the morning's top stories, including why you might want to start checking your mailbox even on Sundays. And it's a classic Honda with perhaps the classiest design yet. We're heading behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs. Keep watching News 3 This Morning Sunday. To the delight of drivers across the state, gas prices are down this holiday season. Where to find the cheapest fuel in our area?
This is News 3 This Morning Sunday.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning Sunday. It's December 9th. I'm Maddie O'Neill in for Josh this morning. We'll get a check on weather with Chris in just a second, but first, let's get you caught up on today's headlines. Breaking overnight, 4 people are in Madison area hospitals this morning after a shooting inside Vision's nightclub. Officers say they were sent to the club shortly before 2 o'clock this morning to respond to a large fight happening there. As they were on the way, the 911 center was notified that shots had been fired inside the club on the 3000 block of East Wash. Police found 3 men and 1 woman with gunshot wounds. Officers continue to investigate but say they don't believe the public is in any danger. If you turn on the radio this weekend, you won't hear a Christmas classic on at least one Madison radio station. 97.7 FM is no longer playing Baby It's Cold Outside. The original version came out in the 40s, but modern critics say the song could be seen as promoting date rape. Especially in the wake of the Me Too movement, the director at 97.7 says he doesn't want the song to conjure up bad memories for survivors of sexual assault. You're probably not used to checking for mail on Sundays, but with the holidays in full swing, that could soon become a reality. Madison's postmaster is asking people to turn their porch lights on as workers go out for extended hours. You might even see them out on Sundays. To make sure your cards and gifts arrive by December 25th, send them out by this Friday. First class and priority mail should be sent by December 20th. Now we'll turn it over to Chris with your first alert forecast.
Good morning, Maddie. Still a lot of cloud cover, mainly to the north and east of Madison this morning. You can see that cloud cover on Weather Track. A little bit of cloud cover trying to develop back towards the south and west as well. We will keep a close eye on that as we go throughout the morning. But looking out over the Edgewater sky cam, you can certainly see the gray and a little bit of foggy haze out on the horizon. Temperatures are at 20 degrees here in town. Outside of town, things are just a little bit colder. Winds coming out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour, so you might have to shave a degree or two off in terms of wind chill. 12 down in Janesville, Watertown at 19, Juneau at 18, Camp Douglas also at 18 right now. Some of our places are just a little bit colder. Black River Falls at 5, and then of course 12 degrees in Janesville. If you're starting out in the teens, you'll be in the mid-20s as we go out towards lunchtime. I do think we will see some sunshine developing once we eat out some of that cloud cover from our skies. Full sunshine this afternoon. Temperature should top out right around 29 degrees for those highs today, though some of us might actually have the potential to make it into the 30s. If you're heading out on the Sunday morning, traffic does look good. The Beltline at Park Street is moving along very, very smoothly there. So far, we have no issues showing up across the city of Madison this morning.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. Most drivers across the country, including us right here in Wisconsin, are paying less to fill our gas tanks compared to this time last year, and that's a big deal. AAA says for the first time since the summer of 2017, the national average for a gallon of regular fuel is less than it was the year before. Right now in Wisconsin, you'll pay 14 cents less than the national number at $2.29 a gallon. It's a few cents more expensive around Janesville and a couple cents cheaper in the Madison area. First introduced in April of 2002, a top-of-the-line Honda Pilot sold for $5,300. Now, in its fourth generation, a top-of-the-line Honda Pilot Elite sells for $49,000. Times have changed, but the basic concept hasn't. Our Mark Kane goes behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs to check out the new 2019 Honda Pilot.
Ultimate suburban soccer mom hauling vehicle.
Yes, soccer mom and hockey dad. Honda is right down the center for suburbia.
Right down the center for suburbia. That sort of sums up the Honda Pilot. But for 2019, the Honda honchos decided to beef up their big SUV.
They felt like they were too car-like before, and so they've redesigned the front end to make it more aggressive and feel more like a truck.
Less, dare we say, minivan-ish?
Yes. People who buy these vehicles have families, and there are two reasons they buy them. One, they need the space, and they could buy a minivan, but they don't want to because they want a vehicle that has more personality.
All good reasons to look at the Pilot, just don't expect to pilot a road machine.
It's not the car you buy because you love the way it drives. It drives fine. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's all that good stuff. Yeah, you buy this, as a family vehicle, so you're looking at room, you're looking at safety, you're looking at convenience, comfort, you're looking at economy. It's pretty reasonable fuel economy.
Boy, this is comfortable.
Yeah, it is. It's comfortable, it's quiet. And of course, with the heated and cooled leather seats, the back seats are heated, so Mike's comfortable back there today.
Okay.
If Mike starts acting up here and go, hey, quiet down back there.
Those are the speakers in the back?
Yes.
Another reason people buy a full-size SUV is space.
Important things for these SUVs is storage area. Now this one is not best in class behind the third row. There's enough here, if you need to do groceries and stuff.
But a quick pull and push here, and those third row seats fold down for lots of room. And speaking of that third row...
And now the big question, though, is...
the Harvey Briggs test.
How much room is in that third row? Let's see. The nice thing about this is you press that button, it moves right forward. That's great. Step in. It's a little high to get up there, but not bad. I mean, that's the truck.
Got room?
I'm here. I'm back here. My knees are barely touching the front. Dad, are we there yet?
Not yet, Harvey, but we have plenty of power to get us there in a hurry.
You know, got a really nice V6 engine in it, plenty of power. You've got a 9-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive here with torque vectoring. So if you get into snow situations, you can hit this button down here and switch it to snow mode, and it...
And a little snow...
There. Price on this is $49,000, but the base price on a front-wheel drive Pilot is $31,000. We are now approaching the area where these new SUVs, family cars, cost as much as my first house. So that just tells you how old I am and how cheap houses were back
And this may
there.
be more comfortable than your first house.
It definitely was a lot nicer furniture, that's for sure.
For more of Harvey's reviews, check out his website, ridesanddrives.com. Now, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and if you're looking for some decorating tips, you're in luck. Pam Skeel from Gordman's is here with the design staples you should stock up on to make this Christmas the most festive yet. We'll talk with her next on News 3 This Morning Sunday. Well, it's kind of hard to believe, but Christmas is just a little more than 2 weeks away, and everywhere you look, Christmas decorations are popping up. We've got Christmas trees, hanging lights, but there are some other decorating trends in stores this year. Pam Skeel joins us from Gordman's. Tell us what people are buying and what we can buy to not break the bank this holiday season.
Exactly.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it can get very expensive if you get on the Christmas, bandwagon and need to redecorate everything, then it can get very, very pricey.
I think I've been going out every weekend and buying Christmas decorations, like I told you.
I agree completely. So it's all about not breaking the bank and developing those traditions so that way you can bring those items out year after year after year, right? As we were just talking about, one of my most favorite pieces is the reindeer. Anything with glittery or, that looks like it has snow on it. Snow is my favorite.
Perfect this time of year.
Exactly. Candles are an awesome way to bring some ambiance and warmth into the home during the Christmas season. We have flameless here today. That are battery operated, so that way they can have the safety there as well.
Yeah, keep it away from kids and cats, I think.
Exactly, and talking about kids, this is actually my favorite piece.
Oh, I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, because this is a, letters to Santa Claus box. It actually opens up and you can take them out. So
oh, I love that. That's
I
such
know,
a cute idea.
it is so cute. It is so cute.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more. We got some Santas, poinsettias, what else?
Christmas trees, we have some LED items. The snowman is actually LED. The green tree down on the bottom is actually LED. I'm a huge fan of lights during the Christmas season.
You have to have lights.
I know, right? I think that was instilled at us at a young age with kids, So I love the fact that LED is coming back into trend, so that's always a good thing. Anything that has the red, white, greens, golds is always a good thing. I mean, you can't break away from tradition.
And you were talking about these traditions. Why do you think it's important to make those through decorations in homes?
Well, I'm a mom, so I like the fact that I can bring things out year after year, and my kids can remember those items. Even my adult kids can remember seeing things that that we were able to bring out when they were like 5 or 6 years old. So Christmas time is all about traditions. So. Why not develop them?
Definitely have those pieces I can remember from my childhood that we still bring out.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us, Pam. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
All right, thank you.
Thank
you too.
Well, we'll be right back. It's definitely starting to feel a lot like the holidays, but is it going to be looking like it soon? Chris is back next with a look at your work week forecast on News 3 this morning, Sunday. But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can show their picture on TV.
Well, it may not look like the holidays here, but I will tell you where it does. Go to Kentucky, Virginia, North Carolina, even parts of South Carolina. That is where a pretty substantial winter storm is underway. We are talking potentially feet of snow in some parts of North Carolina, along with freezing rain and snow throughout southern and eastern Kentucky. Kind of makes this weather guy miss home, but here we are with the cloud cover here in Madison. No snow falling out of those clouds, but there's just a little bit that is trapped here in town. The temperature 20 degrees. Winds are coming out of the northwest at about 6 miles per hour. So in terms of what it feels like, you may shave a degree or two off, but ultimately it's not terribly bad. Now without cloud cover, temperatures have truly taken a dive. 12 is what this is actually the air temperature. It's 12 in Janesville right now. 12 in Boscobel as well. Black River Falls underneath the clear sky. They are coming in at 4 degrees. So you really see what the cloud cover can do to work as a blanket, especially in the morning hours. That cloud cover is mainly to our north and east, and that's where temperatures are some 20 degrees warmer and they were just 24 hours ago. 14 degrees cooler, however, down in Janesville. Same for our friends over in Boscobel. Now, we are watching just a little bit of cloud cover streak in from the north towards the south and western tier of the state. I'm going to keep a close eye on that, but even still, I do think overall we'll see drier air win out today, and that should promote some sunshine as we get you into the afternoon. Another thing that's going to win out, especially as we head into your Monday morning and afternoon, is a southwesterly wind. That's going to allow temperatures to begin a gradual warm up towards the middle of the week. We'll watch that start today as temperatures warm up into the upper 20s and low 30s for a lot of us. Into tomorrow, I think we all have a better shot at seeing those high temperatures in the lower 30s. Some of us could even see mid 30s for those highs tomorrow, especially a little bit farther towards the south. High pressure working to keep us dry and chilly as we go through the next several days, but high pressure will be sliding down to the south. This will make way for a little disturbance trying to develop on the eastern side of the Rockies to develop as we get you towards Wednesday night into Thursday. That could bring at least a chance of a light wintry mix. Here's how the models play out with that. You have a little bit of a wintry mix that develops Wednesday afternoon, going over to some light snow Wednesday night. It doesn't look like a big deal, but we've been quiet for a while. Whether or not it snows, I do feel confident that we will see those temperatures trending above average, at least by a couple degrees as we go through the next several days. And really, the next couple weeks do have a good chance of seeing those above average temperatures likely across most of the country. So 30s is where it will be for highs. After we get through today and Monday, I don't think we'll really see highs in the 20s for quite some time. At least that's how things look as of now. Of course, we'll keep watch on that, but enjoying a sunny day. Here's Buddy the cat. And I do think we'll see some sunshine this afternoon to enjoy as well.
My cats are hoping for that too, so they can sit in their cat tree and bask in the sun just like Buddy.
That's every cat, isn't it? But yeah.
I think so. All right.
Yes, cloudy now, but I do think we'll see some sun this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Chris. The time is 7:50. Stay with News 3 and Channel 3000 this weekend. A reminder, there is no 5:30 news because of the Browns-Chargers game. We will have a 10 o'clock newscast as usual. But first, 18 months and 1,000 miles later, a lost pup is reunited with his family, and it's all thanks to the help of a group of strangers. The uplifting story that shows just how joyful this time of year can be when News 3 This Morning Sunday returns. Welcome back. When a husky named Sinatra slipped out the front door of his family's home in Brooklyn, New York 18 months ago, strangers nearly 1,000 miles away helped this lost dog find his way home.
The 5-year-old pup somehow ended up all the way down the coast in Seffner, Florida, just outside of Tampa. Jim Axelrod shows us just how the two families and their friends worked together to get Sinatra home.
Oh, God. After being gone for the last year and a half, the Willis family's beloved pet dog Sinatra is finally back home this morning.
When the message arrived that Sinatra had been found, I can't even imagine what went through your head.
I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was true. I didn't think it was possible.
That's because the message came from more than 1,000 miles away. Near Tampa, Florida, 3 weeks ago, 13-year-old Rose Verrill saw Sinatra wandering her neighborhood while she was waiting at her school bus stop.
He just had this thing about him that was like, I have been with a family before. I have been with a family probably most of my life.
Rose and her mother took Sinatra to the vet, who found an ID chip in the dog. But some of the owner's contact information was inaccurate. With what little info they did have, the Verrill family used social media to connect with Lesmore Willis and deliver the unbelievable news.
There's a piece that's back that we didn't have for a year and a half.
There's a piece of Zion that's back.
Yeah.
Sinatra had joined the Willis family as a 14th birthday present for their daughter Zion. The teenager was killed in a shooting accident at a friend's house in November of 2015. 18 months later, Sinatra ran away.
In light of the tragedy that happened to their family, the fact that they're able to get back this part of her, I think that's truly amazing.
Sinatra, are you excited to go home?
What's also amazing is how Sinatra made it back home once the owners were found. Friends of the Verrills and the Willises took turns over 2 days, driving Sinatra hundreds of miles up the East Coast. Lesmore Willis drove the last leg of the trip himself.
If Zion were here with me right now, she'd be saying, hurry up, Daddy, drive faster, we gotta get him. We gotta get him.
He was reunited with Sinatra in southern New Jersey.
Sinatra, hey.
And Sinatra finally made it all the way home last night. Back to the family that sees him as a connection to Zion more than 3 years after her death.
She loved him. It was obvious. They got along incredibly. They had a bond that none of us had with them up until that point. It was tough. It's still tough sometimes, but I'm glad he's back. It's a part of our family back.
Oh, what a story there.
Absolutely beautiful. As someone who's had a dog get out while away at college, I can kind of relate, but it was nice to have the dog found. And so I can't even imagine waiting an entire year and a half. Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Emotional stuff.
Absolutely there. Well, more sunshine on the way.
That's
Eventually.
what I like to hear.
We just got to get through that cloud cover that's out there. Sometimes you think forecasting a snowstorm is hard, but I love to say, have you ever had a layer of clouds get trapped? That's the true forecaster struggle out there.
Good to know.
But I do think some drier air will come in and clear out that cloud cover this afternoon. Temperatures will top out in the upper 20s and low 30s. We're watching Wednesday into Thursday for at least a possibility of a wintry mix coming through the area. Doesn't look like a big deal, but forecast is quiet, so we'll watch it.
Okay, well, thank you, and thanks for watching News 3 this morning, Sunday. We'll see you tonight.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.